Everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and we've got some breaking news for you today. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was away at a conference, but I am home, and I am over the moon to see this. We've got a brand new star player has been revealed. The model's been revealed. A little bit of the rules have been revealed. The teams which they can play have been revealed too. So let's have a look and see what we can find out about Thorsson Stoutmead. Okay, so the Warhammer community article landed this afternoon. The legendary Thorsson Stoutmead brings an entire mead keg to the Blood Bowl pitch. So this is very much in line with the Norse preview that we saw at the weekend. We've now got a Norse star player who is essentially, I think, brand new to Blood Bowl. So let's scroll down and have a look. The Norse team was announced at Adepticon last week, and it brings with it one of the greatest players Blood Bowl fans have ever seen, the almighty Beer Pig. Oh, sorry, Beer Boar. Anyway, but sometimes you need more booze than one small pig can carry, which is where Thorsson Stoutmead shines. So we've got now the look at the star player. So the star player is a Norseman, and he is basically in a throwing pose with a barrel in his right hand. So looks like he's quite a big lad. Now, I can't quite figure out if he's on a 40mm base or a 32mm base. If he's on a 32mm base, it's a small keg, and he's a small Norseman, because he's not really filling out the base very much at all. Part of me thinks that actually that's a 40mm base, and this guy's going to be more of a strength 4 size. Could be interesting. Anyway, the Norse vibes are just there. It's got the same kind of hat, same kind of armor as the new Norse team. So you've got the kind of Celtic Norse filigree that you've got in there. You've got the cool Norse horns. He's got drinking horns as well. And of course, he's got a gigantic beer keg. As this name implies, this Norse player is both powerfully stout and filled to the brim with mead. He's so enthusiastic for a mid-match pick-me-up that he carries an entire barrel around with him for on-the-go refueling purposes, which handily doubles up as a blunt force trauma weapon. So we get another shot of the new star player now, and again, you can just see it's a pretty good paint job. Now, we're assuming that this star player is going to be a Forge World star player, like all the other Blood Bowl star players, so it's a really nice paint job. They've done a good job with the model. And yeah, you just see more of the Norse motifs. Alright, this is where we get into some of the rules here. So his signature move, Beer Barrel Bash, lets him toss his keg to knock down rival players. However, the ever-enthusiastic Stoutmead may have had a bit too much to drink. If you flub the roll, he'll drop it on himself instead. So, Thorsson Stoutmead has a ability, Beer Barrel Bash, once per drive. So, once per drive. Okay, so basically, every time you redeploy him on the pitch, he can do this, which is cool because it means every time he goes onto the pitch, he's carrying a beer keg. At the start of his activation, Thorsson may perform a throw keg special action. When he does, select an opposition player within 3 squares of Thorsson and roll a d6. On a 3+, the player is immediately knocked down. However, on a 1, Thorsson is knocked down instead. So, this is once per drive at the start of his activation. So you can't run up and throw it. But what this does do is basically give you a one-shot, 1 square, 3+ quick pass bomb action, essentially. Now, you're just going to knock him down, which is going to cause armor, but it's not going to have Mighty Blow or anything like that. But once per drive, he is going to be able to 3+ sniper somebody. Now, on a 1, he knocks himself down instead, and again, he's going to have to roll for armor. It's an interesting one. We've got a few more bits on the article, though. This muscular mead-fueled macho man can lend a bit of extra power to any Old World Classic team. So he is going to be in the Old World Classic category. So if your Norse, dwarves, halflings, humans, imperial nobility or ogres need a helping hand, they may just want to recruit this barrel bowling, player tipping, drinking horn appreciating legend. Thorsson Stoutmead will be available to pre-order from Forge World soon, so maybe in the next few weeks we might see the Norse team. In the meantime, sign up for Forge World newsletter, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so let's take a second to, first of all, appreciate the model here. It's cool. It fits in with the Norse theme. It's got the same paint scheme. It's got the same design aesthetic. He's got a very ruddy skin tone, which befits a Norseman. And I don't know what this guy is gonna be doing, really, and where he's gonna fill the gap. I think essentially we can say goodbye to Boomer Esiason. So Boomer Esiason was a star player in the older edition, and he was in the CRP. Boomer Esiason was Dwarf or Norse, 60k, loner, accurate, block, Bombardier, Secret Weapon, Thick Skull, 4329. So he was basically a dwarf slash Norse dude that bombed stuff for 60k, and could play for dwarf or Norse. So I think that where we've got here, this guy, I think realistically he's going to be filling the role of Boomer Esiason, who was a Bombardier. Now that brings into question, the way the rules are written, it says once per drive. We don't know if this is going to count as a secret weapon. Now, I'm assuming it's not going to count as a secret weapon because it's not a bomb and the pigs seem to be able to run around on the pitch. Now, we don't know that either, so it is definitely uncertain and it's completely speculation. Let's... man, there's a couple... So, I saw the news as I was just about to leave Bracknell, so I've had a good hour and a half drive home to think about this. And I was thinking, well, what stats, what role is he going to play? Now, this ability, which I originally read as once per half, I was like, alright, that's pretty sweet. It's just like a one-off Bombardier, that's pretty cool. Once per drive is very good, and that 3+ sniper ability, basically, is going to be massive. Those Old World Classic teams, so Ogres and Humans and OWA and Norse and Dwarves, they don't have a huge turnover ability. Skaven, Gutter Runner, swoop in there. You've got Skinks, you've got pretty decent agility. The Goblins and stuff like that in Badlands Brawl Time. You've got Hackflem for almost every team elsewise. They don't have a great pop the ball out with a something and collect it. Now this guy, I think, could be a bit of a strong piece in the meta. Now, the other point here is I don't know how big the dude is, okay? I've got a feeling he's going to be strength 4, strength 5, and we're going to have a really interesting player here. Now, I'm basing that on the fact that he doesn't seem to be filling the base very much. So there's going to be two ways to look at this. Either it's a Forge World Star player and he's quite small, in which case the beer barrel is not going to be very big at all. It's going to be a novelty beer keg that you get people you're not really sure what to buy at Christmas, for example. You know, one of the little ones that are about this big that basically hold 4 cans of lager. I don't know about that. I look at this guy and I think maybe this is a strength 4 big Norseman throwing a big beer barrel. Zug is about 200k. Okay, so strength 5 piece for about 200k. This dude, if he's strength 4 and he's got this sniper ability, we could see him landing at 160k. If he's not strength 4, then we could see this dude landing at 100 to 120k. Now that is a huge piece of toolkit. Now if he's on the bigger end of the spectrum, he is actually a strength 4 properly macho man, as they've described him in the article, then yeah, I think 150, 160k is going to be great, and it's going to give teams a good value, higher strength piece that the teams don't necessarily have intrinsically. So Norse have got the Oath Warriors, but OWA, Humans, Nobility, Dwarves, none of them have got anything other than basically strength 3 dudes and big guys. So having access to that kind of medium cost star player with a strength 4 piece, it could be a really big. Now Willow is the example of that, but only plays for elves and is therefore not a brilliant choice. But you know, there was a star player that was oh gosh, the strength 4 chainsaw dude was really good in the before times. And what you ended up having was you'd buy this star player and yeah, he's got secret weapon or whatever, but it would be a case of actually he was there to be a solid blocker. Like you could just buy a strength 4 piece for your team and it would do a great job of just being really tough and really hard. Who was that? Wilhelm Chaney was strength 4? I don't know who I'm thinking of. Then. It's been a long time since we played the old edition. And all these dudes are gone now. 4 now. Anyway, Max Spleenripper's strength 4 as well. Alright. So, I'm thinking that this guy's going to be either a strength 3, similar piece to Boomer Esiason. You know, we're not going to see the Bombardier piece come back, but this sniper ability of a 3+ within 3 squares, I think it is, to knock a dude down is absolutely massive. Within 3 squares of Thorsson and roll a d6. So it's a 3+ quick pass to knock down a target. Now that can't be intercepted, and that's what this is going to be really important for. So if you're running a dwarf team or an ogre team or an OWA team, you can set up hard on one side, have a screen for Thorsson, and then your opponent's stumped. Do they go that way and go into your big mashing heavy team, or do they go this way and just accept the fact that there's going to be a sniper shot at their bull carrier, that on a 3+ they're going to knock him down? I don't know. I don't know, and this is really interesting. And the other thing is, we don't know what the barrels do in Norse. We don't know if Norse are going to have block. We don't know if they're going to have brawler. I can see this dude being strength 4 brawler, being 160k, and just being an interesting middle ground big guy. On the other hand, I can also see him as 110k, strength 3, no combat skills, and all he does is throw barrels around. But you know what? A King Kong piece could be pretty useful. Anyway, let me know what you think this star player is going to be, because this is cool. We've got a new star player with a cool new rule, and this is going to create some real interesting turnover potential for the Old World Alliance teams. So very, very, very cool. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy throwing barreling.
Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content, we get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.